Welcome to another webinar on a topic related to employment law. Today, I'm really pleased to welcome back Spencer Phillips, who's an employment lawyer. And then we also have Gary Jones from Universal Business Insurance, who is an expert on workers' compensation issues. So we're going to explore the issue of workers' compensation so that you understand exactly what you need to do when you hire employees to avoid any problems down the line when it comes to workers' comp issues. I'm just going to turn it over to you guys and
Sure.
maybe introduce yourself, Gary, a little bit about your background and how you got into this world of workers' comp.
Let's do it. Sounds good.
Very good. I have been in the industry since 2003. I specialize in commercial insurance, so insurance for businesses, uh, all the different lines of insurance, the general liability and the property, but workers' compensation is a critical component to the insurance program for all employers. One of the main reasons is because it's required by state law, and the penalties for not having it are significant, and they will find out if you don't have it, which wasn't always the case in the past, but it's a lot easier for them to cross-reference and figure that out now. So, I work with a lot of contractors. I work with a variety of businesses, physical therapists. I have some physicians, and my job is to protect the assets that my clients have built up. And that is done through a number of ways. One of them having insurance policies, workers' compensation, for example. However, it's important to not just rely on that policy. And one of the things I like to do is to help my clients avoid having to actually use that policy if at all possible. So we get the policy in place, and then we do everything we can to not have to use it. So my world is a little different. Most people sell a product for people to use. I sell a product, and then I try to help them not, and I hope they don't ever have to use it. So,
Excellent.
but having it there when something happens is critical. So
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I'm intrigued by what you just said, and I want to know more. So we will talk about the insurance policies themselves, but first, to start out, assuming someone has an insurance policy in place, what are some of the big lessons that you teach your clients about how to avoid having to use it? And especially thinking about the context of maybe a smaller medical office, what could physician entrepreneurs do to prevent having issues?
Oh, very good question. Uh, some of the items that are critical is having a good policies and procedures in place with regard to safety.
Mhm.
And like I said, I do work with contractors, and we understand the risks with contractors. There's big equipment, and there's cranes, and there's ditch, and all that stuff. And sometimes people think that, well, it's an office, what can go, what's somebody gonna get a paper cut? But
Uh-huh.
but physicians is different. There are injuries that take place in offices. With physicians, they're dealing with hazardous waste and things like needles and things of that nature. They're dealing with blood, and those are all potential workers' comp claims.
Mhm.
If an employee were to get pricked or were to,
Like a cut or something?
cut themselves with a scalpel or something of that nature or some other instrument, that would be a workers' comp claim. So having proper procedures in place and communicating those procedures to the entire office so that everybody's on board is very important. So one of the things companies can do or offices can do is to have regular safety meetings and
Mhm.
pick a subject. You can actually assign somebody in the office a particular subject, and there's lots of topics out there that are available. And I like to I can provide my clients with if they don't know what to talk about, then there are plenty of resources out there, and so we get them pointed in the right direction.
Mhm.
Uh, so that's very important. And there are other things too, slip and falls. There are strains, people bending over, picking up boxes or heavy items, and they tweak their back because they didn't use the proper postures, the lift ergonomics, things of that nature. Those are all potential workers' compensation problems.